We are back with Anya Hinkle. The song you just heard is called What's It Gonna Take? And wow, this past year and a half now, I guess, really, really makes me ask the question, what's it gonna take? Because if all of this did not cause us to see, hey, we have a common enemy, let's come together, let's protect each other, then really what is it going to take?
I think when Graham and I got together to write this song, it was May 26th. Graham Sharp and Graham's my neighbor, he plays the banjo and writes songs for the Steep Canyon Rangers band, and we had just made a songwriting date. And on that day, we woke up to a world without George Floyd and looked at each other and said, what do you want to write about? And, we just worked through over the next few weeks, worked through what we were seeing on the TV screen, what we were seeing in our communities. And it was just a real, really deep and difficult work, as white people in this world, feeling like how do we make sense of what we feel, and yet we're so privileged in our own existence. So it's quite a painful process to write that. And when we went into the studio to record it, we wanted to join our voices with Black voices in asking this question, because it was part of the healing and part of the dialogue that needed to happen, and we felt like the musical dialogue was part of that. So I had called up some friends of mine that I had met at the North Carolina Folk Festival, sacred steel style pedal steel player called Deshaun Hickman, and his wife Wendy, a gospel singer, and we had just really clicked and just really loved them and have had a lot of great discussions with them over the summer. And we just asked them if they would join us in the recording, and you can hear their beautiful music and singing on that track. So it really meant a lot to us to be able to put that together. And we really have fun playing it on stage too. And I've been really happy to include Deshaun and Wendy in a number of songs on the album.
Do you think that there is anything that could do the trick at this point in terms of getting us to recognize our common humanity?
Well, I think that's what the song is saying. Look inside yourself and look and see what things you can do every day. This is not something that's going to come from above. These are things that we have to do as individuals to open our hearts to different cultures. I mean, that's what we're talking about. We have a different economic, a different educational, and a different just style in our lives that we have to accept, and we have to celebrate and find ways to enjoy, other human beings that aren't exactly like us, and really making an effort to be open to that and compassionate. Those are things that are within all of us to do. We can do it. But it means getting uncomfortable sometimes and being afraid and not knowing if we're doing it right. Most people don't want to go there. I know that feeling. I felt that way too. But it's really satisfying when you can find common ground with another person.
Yes. You've mentioned several Asheville musicians in that last little segment already, so I feel like what comes next is only appropriate. I always have my guests pick out a song done by another artist, and for you, the category will be a fellow Asheville musician.
Well, I don't know if I'm prepared for that question, but I will say that one of my favorite Asheville songwriters has come out with a new record. And I want to give him a big shout out because I think he's one of the greatest songwriters anywhere. And he's put out so many records, but he's got a new one out, and I want to encourage everybody to go listen His name is Malcolm Holcomb, and anything he puts out is amazing. But he's got a new record, so go check that out, and all of his stuff.
I happen to love that record, so I will pick one out. Very, very appropriate, actually. I'm, believe it or not, working on getting him on the show for the next episode.
Well, great. Well, tell him I said hey.